Well, hello, welcome back to Tale 3 Cabins. We are winding up a 10-day trip down here in Tennessee. Most of today's episode is going to take place in southern Ohio, but for the last 10 days we've been down here in Tennessee doing some odds and ends. So we're just getting ready to pack up, but the first 7 days of our trip down here we spent it with family, and a family that was long overdue seeing them again. We don't get to see them that often, so we had a great time with them. Showed them some of the sights. It was their first time down here, first time staying in our cabin. So we got to show them some of our favorite restaurants, some of our favorite hiking trails, and I did my best I could by ignoring some things that need attention here in the cabin while they were here staying with us. And then in the last 3 days I started picking away at some of the things on our list. We had some slow drains to take care of. We wanted to do some recaulking around our tubs. The hot tub needed some attention, some decent cleaning and changing the filter on that end. Also, now that we have this cabin next door to us that was built last year, it's kind of infringed on our privacy a little bit. In our upstairs bedroom in the loft, if you're laying in there just right and you're looking through our window, you can kind of see if someone is standing on their deck across the way. So if someone's standing on their deck, they can kind of peer just right through the one window and see that bed area. So we decided to put up some custom blinds over on that end, try to make it a little bit more private. Kind of a shame because it really blocks a beautiful view of the city of Sevierville. But the blinds are up, so there is some privacy up there. I think that's all we need to do is just put one set of blinds up on the windows, and the other ones, they'd really have to stretch their neck if they wanted to lean over and try to peer into the other window. So I think we're good on that end. But let's go down to southern Ohio. We just started picking things apart in the southern Ohio cabin, and we signed some papers and wrote a very large check. So why don't you go check that out.
One of the trucks up.
Don't lose that.
Yeah, I need that down there. Pull that nail out and put some more in.
Those are John's sweet and salty nuts.
He's leaving his nuts everywhere.
I started using it for mice bait. They're probably
They're pretty
expired.
soft. Let's see when sweet and salty's expired. They're good forever, no expiration. Oh yeah. Ooh, August 1st to 23.
Oh.
These nuts are still good.
Would you like some sweet and salty nuts? Are you looking for that Uranus fudge factory?
Oh, come on, guys.
Good job. Leverage. Okay.
Go.
Push.
Just push. Are you pushing?
Yep.
Okay. Well, we started dismantling the inside of the cabin. We're starting with the top cabinets in the kitchen. We're going to save those and put them in the shed and mount them on the walls and use them for extra storage. The person who built this cabin, though, really did a number on putting these cabins up. There's nails up there. There's weird odd-sized screws, and they're not all Phillips head. They're all different types of heads. It's turning out to be a job for the Sawzall.
So you know where it ends? See the screwdriver?
No.
Ready?
Woo-hoo.
Got it.
The initials are down.
Something Western European.
Here, Mark.
Even though it's not a very large cabin, there's still a lot of things in there that take up a lot of space. We're putting some stuff in storage. We've donated some stuff to the local Goodwill in town, and then we're going to take a bunch of stuff home. Not to mention burning a lot also. They come out without a problem?
Well,
Well,
not a problem.
We ain't got enough tools.
No?
One
Otherwise,
hammer.
it could have been easier.
Crowbar would have been nice.
But guess what? They're out.
won't look like it, but we did get a lot accomplished today. We're still staying in here for the evening, so we got to keep the beds intact, some of the furniture, we got the TV still going. Tomorrow will be a big day. We'll load up the trailers in the pickup truck and haul a lot of stuff home. On our way down this morning, we made a quick stop to write a large check, iron out any details, and there's no turning back now.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how you doing, Tanner?
Good. Ready to do this?
I guess, unless you talk me out of it.
As long as everything looks good.
Yeah, I think so.
Got a couple signatures and some money.
Okay. We're done.
So, yep. So if there's anything, did this look good to you? The spec sheet?
Yeah,
This
I
one,
think so.
Everything. We added those, and then we added that TV jack and the electrical outlet and that kind of cable box that feeds down.
Yeah.
So that was added. Didn't change the price. So.
Okay.
But like I said, usually up until it's in that part of production, you can change it.
Okay.
So if it's already past that part of the line, then they rarely go back. But again,
Okay. Is Jordan here today or no?
he is on a job site.
No problem.
Now that's a colony home. So usually we'll just pick that one straight from the factory and take it to the property. Now there's some instances where one half might be delivered, say, on a Monday, the second half might be delivered on Tuesday.
Yeah.
But once it's delivered on the lot, then that's when they'll set it up, trim it out, do everything. And double wides are a little more complex about joining them together rather than if you would have just gotten a single wide. But it's definitely not a month and a half every day on your property. It's just the scheduling.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
our production manager is really good about planning the schedule out a couple weeks in advance, so we should know when the days will be there.
Okay. Okay. And I'll probably come down and try to video the
Yeah.
unloading and all that stuff.
Absolutely. No. And both of you would sign on the same line below. About the permits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yep.
Okay, you got your answer.
Yeah, we'll handle most everything except the water and the septic, and if there's an issue, then we'll discuss it.
Okay.
We'll make a new copy of this for you.
Okay.
That
I'm gonna take a pen.
look at hat or nothing?
No hats, no t-shirts.
So you're thinking best case scenario is 2 months, but somewhere 2 to 3 in there?
Yep. And then,
Okay.
So when do they look at setting the ground up?
Like a month before delivery.
yep.
Oh, okay, so not. So in April we gotta get all that down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can change all the counters.
Hey, there's your shower you want.
12 by 24.
Those are the
Big.
tiles.
I mean,
Oh,
the tile package is
The tile.
12.
So like the foundation you're building, if I were to give you like a piece of conduit or something like that, could you throw that
Oh,
in there in
absolutely.
case we ever want to run
Yep.
an antenna or
Yep.
some kind of coax or whatever? Okay.
Absolutely.
Septic people will be coming in after you, but will you be leaving a pipe that they tie into?
So we can do it multiple ways. I can put it under the footer. A lot of times, we pour our cores every 6 feet, and then I just did one yesterday where all you do is got to knock out the center core, put your pipe right through because I'm not sure where their elevation is going to be.
Okay.
So I can stuff one underneath the footer.
So what is left underneath the house when it's delivered? Is there just a pipe
So
in there?
you'll just have a couple pipes that are coming down.
Okay.
And then, so I'm not too concerned about that. It's more of like your septic guy. Where is his elevation at for his tank? Does it need to be lower? Does it need to be higher? I can put it, do you know, has it been drawn up? Do you know where it's going?
Yeah.
You do? Okay.
Yeah, for the most part.
Is it on the upper side, lower side? Which?
Do you remember how the
I
cabin was laid out? And that was another question, because I asked the county guy, would it be beneficial if this house sat a little further up the hill? So he said the higher up you can get it, probably the better.
Okay.
So the cabin will be taken down, so you'll have that space. But I don't know,
You want
when
to kind of keep it up?
does that make a difference when you
It
come to
shouldn't.
unloading?
We'll just kind of cut that out. I might have to add a course or two, but it's not nothing crazy. If it gets crazy, what I'll do is, whenever that time comes, if we're talking like we're adding 3 courses or something to get down below frost, I would submit a change order to you at that time, which is you're probably looking at a couple $100. Nothing crazy.
Yeah. Okay. So he mentioned that, but basically, as you were like looking at the place, looking up the hill, he has everything going to the right.
Okay. Kind of towards your neighbors there.
Yep. And then I don't know if you remember, there was like a little bit of thicket when the thicket started. Remember that little path that I said would go to a barn? Yeah. So to the right of that path and to the right of the house was that thicket. He said it was probably going to encroach into that a little bit.
Okay. So if I know where that is, I can probably put one through the block. I can keep it as high as possible. We do need.
I'll send you the diagram he sent me.
Send that to me once. And does he have would you have his contact where I would be able to maybe reach him?
Yep. Well, I did say that I would probably get you in touch with him, so there's no issues there. Because he also mentioned too that they like to put the septic in virgin soil, that they don't. Because you talked about moving a lot of dirt around.
So if I know his area that he's going to be in, I'll keep our dirt away from that, essentially. Yeah.
Okay. Just a ballpark. How many days do you think you would be there doing the prep prior to the house?
So I typically start like a month before.
Right.
A month before that home's coming, I typically have my excavator in there. We're digging footers. 9 times out of 10, I'm ready before the home. There's a snap instance where we get bad weather or somebody gets behind on their schedule, but typically that's when I would choose to start. I can shorten the window if we have to.
No, I'm just curious because I would like to come down and document some of the stuff going on.
Sure. So the way I would like the process to work, if once you have your cabin down and we're getting a little bit closer, I would like to meet you out there and stake it off with you, make sure it's exactly where you guys want it. We can talk about elevation stuff at that time.
Okay.
And then when my excavator comes back down, I'll give you a date that he's going down. I can give you a date when my mason's going down. I can keep you in the loop as much as you would like to be.
Well, okay, and how many days prior would that be? Because then I'm not going to touch any trees, but if we come down and you say, well, you should really get rid of that tree or
so all of that process is like your very first thing. So till the home's coming, you're gonna have some time. You're talking about a month.
Yeah.
Typically the excavation will start, and then we like to get those footers poured within like the next day if possible, because the less weather, the less rain, it's just going to turn into mud. So if we can get footers down, that's what we try to do.
Okay.
If it goes a couple days, it happens.
And I don't need like a time frame, like a month or nothing, but how many days do you think you would typically be there to get done what you need? Yeah.
So typically for yours, they should be in and out with the excavators in one day. They should pour footers another day, so that's 2. They'll lay the block in one day. So that's 3. We would have our waterproofer who will be there for a day. I would probably come back to yours and lay downspout pipes the following day. The truck that would sling our gravel, he would be there for one day.
Okay.
So I think we're up to like 6 days now, and then we would probably do some prep work. So I would say give and take 10 days the most. Okay?
Thanks for your help.
Oh, absolutely. Let me know if you guys need anything else, okay?
Okay, take care.
Thank you.
Can I get a sign that says Don's room? Well, we'll just hang the deer head on the...
So we got the pickup trucks and the trailers loaded up. We only left a few things inside, like mattresses to sleep on if we're going to stay inside for a couple more days, and other things that can be burnt in the future or be stored in the shed once we don't need them anymore. We took a quick trip before loading up the trailers and got rid of a couch and chair at the local Goodwill.
Yeah, it was from here.
So there's going to be a lot of preparation and planning for the next trip down here, because the next time I come down, I won't be going home until the cabin is completely gone. These bed frames are pretty much mouse proof, so they're going to go into the shed. Okay, so this video is coming out at the tail end of March, and that means in the next 2 weeks we have to have that cabin down to the ground and wiped clean of its foundation. So there's a little bit of a method to my madness when I've been doing these product reviews lately, and some folks have been complaining about them. But one of the first things I'm going to need to do is get my RV ready, because once that cabin's down, I venture to say that we maybe have about 2 more nights that we could stay in it, and then once we start taking it down, we won't be able to use the showers, won't be able to use electricity, stuff like that. So then the RV is going to come into play. So I'm going to bring the RV down. I arranged it with my neighbor that I could park it behind his barn, so we can set up there and have a little base camp there to sleep, cook, take showers, etc. The other thing is that I'm going to need Don to bring down JD, because JD is going to play an important role when we're bringing this cabin down. I lined up to have a dumpster delivered. It's going to be a 30-foot long dumpster. I'm hoping that that will be large enough to handle everything I need to throw in there. We decided what's going to get burnt. We decided what we're going to try to save. But basically the roof, the flooring materials, the insulation, that's all going in the dumpster. We'll burn a lot of the scraps that are left inside, and then we're going to try to salvage some things. Now you might say, well, why don't you just hire somebody to tear this thing down? And we're looking at maybe about $8,000 if somebody were to do that. And if they did bring an excavator out there with a thumb, they could probably tear this thing down in a matter of hours, have it put into a dumpster. Although I don't think it's going to fit in the 30-yard dumpster that I'm going to be getting. So they're not going to pick and choose what they're going to put in that dumpster. They're going to just throw everything in there. So that's going to make the expense go up a little bit. I also want to cherry pick some things so we can make some hunting blinds with it, take the windows, take the doors, take the sheeting off of it, try to salvage some of the 2x4s. So if we hired somebody to tear down the cabin, we wouldn't be able to do that. So we're going to try to save some money, cherry pick it a little bit, dispose of it ourselves. The other thing is I've been doing a lot of these product reviews lately, and there is a little bit of method to my madness. Now that we're going to be off grid and we have the RV down there, I'm going to need that Furman generator that I did a review on. I'm going to need a bunch of those power stations that start charging up cordless tools and powering saws and sawzalls, stuff like that. So I'm going to need a couple different power stations down there, solar panels, and once the cabin is down, that means the antenna tower is down, and we're going to need Starlink for the communicating with the outside world, either lining up things with other contractors or just communicating in case somebody gets hurt. A lot of these things that I've done reviews on in the past couple months are going to come back to play and be a benefit for us to be using down there, because we're going to be off grid. We're going to need a generator to probably power our RV from time to time. It's early April, it still goes below freezing at night. I don't want anything to freeze up on here, so we're going to need the generator and a bunch of battery backups for the RV itself. We signed those papers, and I actually got a call shortly after that they could have this thing delivered in about 2 weeks. And I said, whoa, that is going to be much too soon. So we pushed it off. So once this cabin is down, it's very possible things could move very quickly. Of course, things are weather dependent, and who knows what comes up that you don't know about. But the possibility is there that this thing could be delivering in early May and then up and running in no time. It's a little bit faster than I want it to be, but we'll just see how that goes. So I appreciate everybody watching. Hope you enjoy and subscribe to these videos. Stick around if you want to see how this all pans out, because I'm not sure how it's all going to pan out myself. And, well, keep an eye on us. Take care, everybody.